Okay, talking head time. We're gonna talk about the dilemma right now of buying graphics cards and just how difficult it actually is and the amount of things you've got to think about. Again, this is a video triggered by my inbox, especially right now with the amount of people that are now either buying for Christmas or putting things on their Christmas list or just spoiling themselves. There's a lot to talk about here. NZXT Canvas monitors feature more of what gamers want. The Canvas 1440p QHD offers a 165Hz refresh rate for the perfect balance between performance and resolution, while the 1080p Full HD Canvas delivers 240Hz for a competitive edge. Both versions feature AMD FreeSync Premium, 1 millisecond response time, and OSD settings via CAM, allowing for specific settings between games. To see the complete list of Canvas monitors and monitor mounts from NZXT, follow the link in the description below. I call this the great GPU buying dilemma because it's really unprecedented times. I also watched Steve's video yesterday of his the 4080 problem of it not selling. And I agree with a lot of what he said. And it's about generational pricing differences, right? Especially specifically the 80 series cards and silicon cost versus the actual cost of GPUs and how the trend is just it's not sustainable. In fact, right now, the 4080 lack of sales is even showing that it's not sustainable even in this current generation. So something worth thinking about, something worth going and watching and use this video as kind of another perspective of not countering Steve in any way. I think I agree with everything that he said. This one here is just going to take into account some used pricing and stuff like that. The emails that I've been getting that have been triggering this particular video, and it's kind of surprising the amount of folks that are still shopping at like the 3090 range or the 3080 range or the 4080 range. These are expensive GPUs. So if you have enough disposable income to just, I don't want to say throw away, but to spend on a very expensive, very overpriced single component of your system, a lot of the pricing stuff is probably not going to be as important to you as somebody that is definitely trying to get every ounce of performance per dollar out of their system. If anything has showed us the 4080, with its additional price and additional performance is still at the same performance per dollar ratio as like the 3080, 3090 was. It's just you scoot the whole scale down the chart into the higher FPS range, it stayed the same. So you're just paying for more rather than getting more for the same price as what we were kind of expecting. So anyway, let's talk about used here for a second. I'm gonna look up RTX 3080s because I see a lot of people commenting on social media and stuff saying they've got some amazing deals recently on used for RTX 3080s, whether it be a 10 gigabyte or a 12 gigabyte LHR or low hash rate. Cryptocurrency being fiasco that it is right now is actually not affecting pricing all that much anymore. So what we want to look for here are obviously the buy it now is kind of a thing. So we've got a new listing here for a refurbished MSI RTX 3080 for $600 or $599. For a lot of people, that might be something they're willing to take, especially if it's sold directly by MSI, because it would still potentially hold, refurbished items still hold warranties just like new items. I'm one of those people that goes, if I see refurbished, I know that exact product already had a problem. Like that card was already sent in for fixing of something. That always kind of makes me a little bit nervous. I very rarely buy refurb anything. It doesn't matter if it's a computer part or a car part or anything. I just personally do not buy refurbished stuff. So that would already be a non-seller for me. We've got $650 for the Win 3s, $565 or best offer 3080 Founders Edition. That's actually a pretty good price if it's not damaged and blemished or whatever. $410, those are bids only on that one. But here you got a $750 or $750 3080 Founders. It's funny, this guy has sold 47 of them. So you start to ask yourself, like, where is this guy getting these cards? If I look at the listing here, and this person also has a 99.8% positive feedback with 5,006 listings. But I look at the description and that's what makes me decide I want to buy something. The description says, used with box. These are the things you have to think about when you're shopping, especially if you're shopping used. And I know that there's a lot of channels out there that highly advocate for used products. I'm always going to advocate for the used product that has documentation behind it. What I mean by documentation is like, do they still have the receipt? If they still have the receipt,
That says a lot about a person that keeps the receipts for the things that they buy, especially if they're expensive, because that means they're ready for any warranty issues that might pop up. It means they more than likely take care of the thing. It shows you they got it new, so you kind of know how many owners it's already had. There's a lot of little things that can make you feel safer about buying new or used. If the guy just shows up, like especially if you're doing it in person, he just feels sketchy and he's just like, yeah, bro, you know, $500. Or really, where'd you get it? Oh, yeah, I got it from a friend. You know, I'd be like, cool, but no thanks. And I've done that before. I've actually walked away from deals in person before and had people get all like snooty and like mad about it. And I'm like, bro, I'm not giving you my money. I don't trust you based on just the small interaction that we've had right now. And the only way you have to do that online, if it's something like eBay, is the listing. If the listing like that, used with box. If it said used with box, tested 100% fully functional, that says more than just, yo, it's used with the box. Imagine we went to buy a used car. Hey, what's the condition of the car? Used. So here we go, another $550 or best offer on a Zotac Gaming 3080 Trinity OC. What's funny is that eBay at least shows product listing reviews too. So you can see like that product only has 2 out of 5 stars with 46 reviews on the product page. So a little bit of stuff you can look at right there. And here's an RTX 3080 MSI GeForce Ventus 3X 10G OC 10 gigabyte GDDR6X graphics card. $300. That's when you're like, wow, and then you click it. It's coming from North Carolina. Steve, are you selling used graphics cards now, man? If we look at the listing down here, it says not displaying video. And then if you scroll up, you actually see in the listing, graphics card, no video. It says that, condition, 4 parts or not working. This is where people get caught up and then they miss this and then they buy it and then it doesn't work and then they look at the listing and they're like, oh man, at least this person expects or accepts 30-day returns, or you can do the eBay buyer protection stuff. But if you buy something that says it's not working under buyer protection and then you tell eBay, hey, it's not working, they're gonna be like, it says it in the listing, and they're not gonna refund you your money. So you need to think about this sort of stuff. But the reason why we just check this out right now is we need to get an idea of what the used pricing is before we can determine what a reasonable new price is. So if we look at Amazon, because Amazon realistically has some of the best prices around when it comes to graphics cards. We've got an EVGA 3080 for the Win 3, $949 brand new with delivery in about 10 days. Something you need to consider with EVGA. I love the brand, you know this, and they say they're set up to handle warranty issues well into the future. You gotta take that with a grain of salt. EVGA, I love you, but you know what? Eventually you're gonna run out of replacement units. You can't possibly have enough replacement units to cover 5 years into the future, depending on whatever your failure rate is analysis that you've got there. So if you buy the For the Win 3 or any EVGA 30 series graphics card right now, expect to potentially not have a warranty way out if something happens. Think about that, it's important because warranties are very important to many people, especially with $1,000 products. It's not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. Here's a 3080 LHR from MSI for $959. A Zotac 3080 Trinity for $921, $973, $1,099, $1,099 for the Founders. Oh yeah, let's look on Best Buy, because Best Buy for the longest time had Founders in stock. So we got a Gigabyte NVIDIA 3080 for $779. Check stores. So that means it's not available online. Choose a store for pickup, shipping, for availability. Yeah, I highly doubt it's actually in stock. We have a 3070 PNY in stock nearby. Yeah, so the 3080 not available nearby. 3080 OS Master, get it today nearby. Okay, so there is somewhere that has a 3080, that's $1,099 though. The reason why I'm pointing this out is now I understand the pricing of the RTX 4080 being stupid, but would you pay $1,100 for a 3080 or $1,200 for a 4080? Now here's the thing. The $1,099, that's inflated. It's a $700 graphics card all day long. $700, $699, whatever the actual 3080 price was. Custom cards, add maybe $100 to that, $800. Okay, $800 is realistically all it's truly worth, and all the inflations and stuff and the pricing going up and down. The price went down real low for a while. 4080 is not selling. A lot of people started buying 30 series cards because they were down at that low price. Since the 30 series cards went higher in demand, the price is now coming back up. Exactly like I was afraid it would do. It took a lot longer to do it than I thought, but the price has definitely come back up. Here's a refurbished 3080 Ti for $1,286. Now we're in 4080 territory. Let me be very clear. I am not defending the price of the RTX 4080. I am pointing out the buyer dilemma that currently exists today, where to get MSRP pricing of a 3080, you gotta buy used, which means you give up certain certainties with that. A warranty. Okay, yes, warranties are transferable, but you don't know what that card's been through. You don't know if they've broken the warranty sticker, which in many countries, including the United States, it's illegal to actually void a warranty by somebody opening up their own product. Okay, if you open it up and cause physical damage to it, that's one thing, but putting a sticker over a screw and saying your warranty's void if you poke this hole is completely illegal in the United States, and you can't absolutely fight that. The stuff that is reasonable, right? We've got a RTX 3080 Asus Strix card here for $899. I say reasonable, it's not truly reasonable. Not available. So now let's look at what the price of 4080 looks like on here. Again, I've got to say this over and over because I know you guys are going to somehow be like, Jay's defending the price of the 4080. I'm not. I'm talking about the weird dilemma that exists because I've received so many emails. In fact, I got an email just yesterday of somebody asking me, Jay, should I buy a 3090? And he's asking about new, by the way, because he posted links to the cards he was looking at. Should I buy a 3090 or a 4080? And the 3090 is currently more expensive than a 4080 and gets you significantly less performance. So you're paying more to get less, and some of the caveats in this email was like, I don't want to support the 40 series card. You're supporting NVIDIA regardless of which one you buy. So you're not exactly sticking it to the man by saying, I'm not gonna buy a 4080, I'm gonna pay more for a 3090 and then get less performance for it. Like that's a weird mentality, and this is the buyer dilemma here. The dilemma is your scruples. I'm gonna say screw the 40 series, so NVIDIA sees we're not gonna buy it. If you buy the 30 series, you're still giving them money. So that's why I'm just like, this pricing sucks, and it's gonna suck for a while, because you know as well as I do, with the amount of, and yeah, look at this here, 4080 for $1,199. This is a high demand product. That's the Founders Edition card. That's the cheapest one you're gonna find, is $1,199 at Best Buy. Now, Best Buy doesn't inflate the prices of a Founders Edition card because they're the official reseller for NVIDIA. So NVIDIA controls that price. But if you go on eBay, or no, Amazon, and we look up 4080, we should probably see inflated pricing here, extremely inflated pricing. That Zotac spaceship looking one, $1,309. Actually, that's not inflated. It's not a good price because again, this should be like a $900 card at the most, an $800 card for like MSRP type. I think a lot of people forget TSMC did increase prices of silicon by 30% in 2020, or 2021, take that back, 2021. They did inflate the pricing and they removed bulk pricing, and NVIDIA came back after leaving and going to Samsung. So TSMC has no incentive to give NVIDIA a discount or a deal. NVIDIA will gladly take on that extra pricing and just pass it on to you, which is what we're seeing here today. So it's partially greed from NVIDIA and it's partially demand across the world for silicon, leading TSMC to raise pricing and reduce and completely omit bulk pricing, which is something that existed. $1,379 to MSI RTX 4080, $1,403 for that same RTX Amp Extreme Aero card. So they're probably two different. Oh, yeah, that's a Trinity. Okay, take that back. So yeah, the Trinity at $1,403 is a $200 price premium over the Founders Edition card. 1326, 1569, 1472, 1599, 1449, 1599, 1699 for the Strix.
More than the 4090?
No, we're at 4090 pricing because of the inflated pricing of the 4080s, which is funny because they're inflating prices of 4080s, which aren't selling. That's like, I have seen house listings. I search house listings all the time because I like to look at house listings. I'm like a window shopper with houses. It's just fun. I have literally seen price increase of like an amount. It's like, wait a minute, it's on the market, it's not sold, and they raised the price. That usually means they got a ton of offers at whatever the existing price was, and they went, this is a high demand house. Took it off the market, relisted it on new MLS listing, and raised the price. It's happened before. Here's an $1,899 Gigabyte Aorus GeForce Master, 16 gigabyte. The pandemic and the shortages showed these greedy brands that there are enough deep-pocketed, well, Phil called them stupid buyers. Right, Phil, the hate mail, not me. Stupid buyers with lots of money willing to pay for it, showing these brands that, you know what, there are enough people out there with deep pockets that don't care, that we don't have to care about the average buyer because we can just sell it at whatever price we want. And the nice thing to see about the 40 series still sitting on shelves is the fact that that paradigm or that pendulum is shifting, saying, frick no, we're not gonna just spend whatever money you're telling us it's gonna cost. So here's your conundrum now. What do you buy if you're trying to build a system, you're trying to build a high-end gaming PC? Because I just pointed out, if you buy a 30 series card, you're giving these same companies money. And you know what? They're now higher than MSRP, which guess what? Remember how they talked about at 30 series, they were losing money on every sale when the price dropped? They're not anymore. The price has come back up over MSRP, significantly over MSRP, meaning they're now making money again on those cards that we already said, hell no, we're not buying because the price was inflated. And now because a more inflated pricing model came out, now we're willing to buy it and still give these companies money. So this is why I call it the great GPU buying dilemma. Let's take a look real quick at what the price of an RTX 3090 is on Amazon. Founders Edition is available right now for $1,099. It's actually a $400 price reduction. They show on here it's originally $1,666 on Amazon. That's bullshit. It was a $1,499 card. It's $400 down. You got an RTX 3090 Trinity OC for $1,389. You've got a $1,798 for the Win 3. And these are in stock. You know, you've got a $1,789 Strix, a $1,500. Wait, is that a Strix? Oh no, that's a Twin Frozer. Sorry, the Twin Frozer 2 Ampere Architecture OC graphics card from MSI, the buzzwords. $1,490 for a Strix, $1,649 for an Amp Extreme Holo, whatever that is, a Holo card, H-O-L-O. You got $1,629 for an RTX 3090 MSI Torx Fan 3, whatever. Do you see the problem here? Why would anyone buy a 3090 for the same price as a 4080 if you're shopping at that price point? Like, there's no way I can make this video and not have it sound like I'm somehow justifying the price of a 4080. But what I am saying is if you're shopping in that price point anyway, and you're already giving your money to the green beast and not AMD, because a lot of people are not happy with AMD's price to performance either. It's the price to performance on AMD is actually just as bad as 4080. It's just the price is lower, and so is the FPS a little bit. So it still scales the same. It's just still not a great buy. And because we don't have any mid-range cards yet, what reason does NVIDIA have to launch their mid-range cards? We know in January is when the RTX 4070 Ti or 4080 12 gig card they tried to pass down as a 4080. Let's look at the RTX 3070, shall we? What is the price of a 3070? $529 for the Zotac card, $659, which is, again, just about MSRP, a little under MSRP for a 3080. $699, $649, $729, $549, $739, $499. Delivery Wednesday the 28th. So a little over a week, $499 for an MSI Gaming RTX 3070 8GB card. That's a good deal right there. That's the kind of card you should be buying today. The crappy part is there's only 2 of those left in stock on Amazon at that price point. They might get restocked, but it's originally $689. You got $699 Strix for 3070 Ti. That's actually not terrible. $700 for a Strix Ti. $749 for the Noctua edition. $594 for the 3070 that was cheaper up here. So $594 there. $569 for the Asus Dual. That's like super basic, but still not gonna be bad performance. Let's look at an RTX 3060. An RTX 349, again, not great, but you know what? You're gonna game at 1440p, max settings, no problem. No problem at all. 367, 389, 409, 369, 349 for the Zotac Twin Edge OC. Now Zotac's not known for like having huge power limit available to it. Like a lot of times it's locked, not necessarily the greatest overclocking cards, but if you're looking for just like, I want 1440p gaming, I want high settings on my AAA titles, and you don't have $400, $500 to spend on a graphics card, $349. And that's the thing, they have no incentive to release these mid-range cards for a while, probably not till spring or summer, to be honest. They're holding off all the way to January after we launched in September of the 90 series card to even launch the 70 Ti. They still have a 70 to launch, and then a 60 at that point, which would probably be springtime, because they have a stupid amount of 3060s and 3050s and 3070s still in stock. Let's look at AMD real quick. People get mad when I don't include AMD in these types of videos. 6700 XT, what is that going for? $419. A Gigabyte Eagle 12 gig 6700 XT for $419. Now that would be a pretty close competitor to like a 3060 Ti type of card. $419, not bad. $389, $499, $319. $319 for, oh, it's a 6700 non-XT. So see, there's so many good mid-range cards here from previous gens still available, because guess what? Your games didn't suddenly get slower with these cards because something new came out. You're just not getting the extra performance of the new. Let's look at the 6900 XT. $899 for the XFX Speedster Swift 319. 900 bucks for a 6900 XT. Still right around its MSRP. I think like 1,100 bucks or something, like 1,200 bucks, somewhere around there is what it costs. But you got the Red Devil right underneath it for $1,400. Oh, that's the water-cooled water block card. Okay, never mind, I understand that one there. $784 for a Red Devil 6950 XT. 784 bucks for a 6950 XT Red Devil. That's what you should all be running out buying right now, honestly. 784 bucks.
It's that exact card that was in our benchmarks for the 7900 XTX. So
Yeah,
you can go compare.
you're right, it is, yeah. The 6950 XT Red Devil is the one we used in our charts. $799 for, so brand new XFX Merc, $319, $799, so 15 bucks more, $849. AMD cards are still great, and here's the thing, RT aside, AMD graphics cards, rasterization, just regular old performance, they're gonna kick ass. They suck at VR, okay? AMD graphics cards still suck at VR. I don't personally have never used their encoder for live streaming. I can't answer to that, but if you just wanna plug a card in, get high FPS, 1440p, 4K gaming, whatever, turn off all the ray tracing, just get all the rasterization performance, AMD cards should absolutely be on your radar. And if you're not looking at it, put your fanboyisms aside and just be open-minded for once in your life. And yeah, I'm talking to the NVIDIA fanboys on that one, obviously. That's the GPU buying dilemma right now. You're still in a 3-4 month holding pattern at least until we start seeing lower end cards start to launch. It's difficult. So I'm curious now, with the prices literally looking like a sine wave, and now that we're on the upswing again of the high end previous gen, with the mid-range stuff having not really changed, what would you do? What would you spend your money on right now? Hypothetically, and I really want you to comment down below with a well thought out response. Put yourself in the shoes of you're building a system right now, you have all your components picked out, and you're choosing a graphics card right now. What graphics card are you going with? And if you're put what your mental price budget was. I had $700 to choose a graphics card, here's what I chose. I had $500 to choose, here's the resolution I need to play at. Think about it. Comment down below. You might give some people some actual food for thought on what they should be buying, because again, this is a huge community. The PC community, the JSUSense community, the Gamers Next community, the Paul's Hardware, we all overlap, and I'm really curious to see where people land on this one. I'd put a poll if I could, but I can't, so. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully the dilemma smooths itself out soon. I understand the whole screw NVIDIA and the 4080 pricing. The pandemic really made companies feel like they could charge whatever they want for things. And it's nice to see that, you know what? Cost of living comes first, and you're not getting my money. That's what a lot of people are saying. But don't tell them you're not getting your money and then go buying a 30 series, because they got your money.